So to begin with, we're going to talk about the address position, and we're going to talk about how your body works.
Yep.
We've got your weight a bit too much over your heels here at the moment.
Okay.
So what'll happen is you'll start to, your brain's pretty smart. You pack into a scrum
Yeah.
with your weight on your heels, you're going to go butt up pretty quickly, right? So your balance point is roughly on balls arches of your feet. So when you're wielding this thing around at speed, rotational force will drag you onto your balance point. Okay. So as we start to take this back, you'll start to move pretty quickly. Okay?
Yeah.
So you can move it in, and we'll start changing that balance point a reasonable amount. Okay? Now that's only a little bit,
Yeah.
but that's enough to get it out of the hosel out of here
Yeah.
and go that way very, very, very quickly.
Right.
Okay? So that's where those come from.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, with a shorter club in your hand. Okay? So with your wedges and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? So that'll be our number 1 point. We'll come back here again. We'll start to talk about this address position over here. We're going to have the ball a little bit further forward in your stance up here,
Yep.
because the lowest part of your golf swing is actually underneath your left armpit, because that's your leverage. So it'll be down over here somewhere. We still want to hit down on it, so that's why we're going to have it back, further back, and we'll have this handle pointing, instead of back here, we'll have the handle pointing into your left groin. From a simple fact of a leverage issue with your left forearm and the shaft of the golf club.
Okay.
So as you start to take this back, we'll also talk about, take this away for a second, oops, we'll talk about the bottom half and what it should be doing, and some pressure in your feet.
Okay.
And instead of you moving all over the ballpark up here,
Yeah.
we're going to keep it nice and stable. So we're going to keep some pressure on this foot here.
Yeah.
The easiest way to explain that is if I got you to stand on one foot and gave you a bit of a shove,
Yeah.
you'd lose your balance.
Yeah.
But if we're pushing down in the ground with both feet,
Yeah.
you're not going to lose your balance. Okay?
Okay.
So when that comes off the ground, when the heel comes off the ground and most of the pressure is on the outside of that foot, we're not creating a nice little force coupling to start off with,
Right.
but we're going to be off balance.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So far we've only talked about balance. Now that isn't a bad position at all.
Okay.
Really, really happy with that. We've got that nice spine tilt here. We've got that leverage that we talked about before, but if we press stop again, that's where it started from and that's where it's ended.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a bit of a difference there. There can be a bit of a difference, and we want that with the shaft leaning forward just a little,
Yeah.
but just not quite as much as that.
Okay.
Okay. And one of my big bugbears.
Yep.
Somebody at some stage has told you to keep your head down.
Yes.
Okay. You don't need to do that. Okay, it's what your head's attached to, your spine, all right?
Right.
So at this point in time, your cervical spine, which is your neck,
Yeah.
is screaming at you saying, please don't do that.
Okay.
Because I've got rotational force all the way up here and
Yeah.
moving past it, and you can't really turn any further. So you're really not utilising your biggest body, your biggest part of you, which is your body, and rotating through, because
Right.
your head's staying here, right?
Right.
Rather than keep on rotating through, and your
Okay.
head following the golf club.
Right. Okay.
There's been issues with you topping the golf ball, but it's not from that.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
The issues from topping the golf ball is because the low point is up here,
Right.
and you've had the ball so far back here, the
Okay.
golf club is still on its way down,
Yeah.
and you catch the top of the golf ball.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's the reason why you top it.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that and as I said, dispel some of those myths. Now later on, from the other screen, on the right-hand screen, we'll talk about what your arms do and how that works, and how we're going to turn you a bit more in the bottom half so we can see some daylight between your knees. We're going to talk about your forearm going up here, up high, a little bit more up here, and your hands up here. But at this point in time, we're just going to talk about your body and how it works. Okay? We're going to poke and prod you, put you into some different places, get you to rotate a little bit more effectively,
Okay.
and then we can go from there.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Cool.
Good man.